let's combine two surface techniques, masking and Sgraffito. So first we need to prep for masking. We need to choose our design. In this case, I'm doing a kiln, and you can actually trace this from, say, your computer screen. You don't need to draw all the little details you have here, but I'm going to use it later. I'm going to cut it out. Now, I actually want to make sure that I really keep the shape, and I realized that it was too detailed, so I needed a craft blade. If you're in my class, see me for this. Please be careful when you're cutting to cut away from your fingers, and notice I'm using a cutting mat, so make sure that you do that to protect your table surface. And then, of course, make sure that you cover that craft blade when you're done using it, so it doesn't just sit around open. So I'm using that negative space right here, so I want to cut away the extra, and so you can see why I needed to be really careful as I was cutting it out. I'm still going to keep that other little design. So to mask, that's where I'm actually like blocking off areas. So I'm working with leather hard clay, and I chose to cut this out. I certainly don't have to if I'm practicing, and of course you can do this on other surfaces. It works best on flat or fairly flat surfaces. And I need to get my clay a little damp, and that's just to create a temporary sort of suction for my paper. So I'm going to mist it with my spray bottle, and then I'm going to place and press my paper, and this is just regular printer paper. There's lots of things you can use, but this is really accessible. And now I need my underglaze. In some studios they might have colored slip or underglaze. They can work interchangeably for this technique. I'm going to apply that like I normally would. So in our studio that means 2 coats, letting it dry in between, sometimes 3 coats for a thinner color. I peel and reveal, and those little pieces on the edge, I can always scrape that away to clean that up. So that's masking. And now I need to prep for Sgraffito. So these are 2 different techniques. They just happen to pair really well. My slip or underglaze needs to be dry. And then I like that I already have this design because now I can lightly trace these details with my pencil. I could also freehand it. And if you can try, your pencil might even draw lightly on here. So then I need my tools. So a needle tool is usually my go-to. And so Sgraffito, and you can actually use the back of like a sewing needle. A paper clip also works. So Sgraffito just means to scratch. So all I'm doing here is scratching through the underglaze or slip to reveal the clay underneath. And you can see here I didn't fully carve through right away. So if you don't see your clay underneath, you need to carve deeper. And as you see, there's crumbs that are showing up. Don't worry about those right now. You will see that I'm sort of cleaning my needle tool as I go just to get some of the crumbs out of the way if they bead up on there. Other tools can give different line qualities. And I'm going to dry brush the crumbs and recarve and brush again. So I need to recarve to remove some of the crumbs that sit in the middle. So sometimes I have to go over my design 2 or maybe even 3 times. And then I'm going to clean up around the outside. This is just like a plastic card, like a gift card, credit card, membership card, and that does a nice clean edge. And that's going to be it. That's how I'm going to do Sgraffito and combine it with masking.